Welcome back to Movies on the Focus, the podcast where we dissect cinematic masterpieces, or at least, movies that are interesting enough to talk about for a while. I'm your host, Bob.
And I'm Alice, and Bob. Today we're diving headfirst into a truly iconic film, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Buckle up, Buttercup, it's gonna be a wild ride.
Oh, it's going to be wild alright. Released way back in 1975, this drama directed by the masterful Milos Forman. I mean, the man knew how to craft a story, didn't he?
Absolutely. And the awards, 5 Oscars. 5. Can you even imagine? That's not just a win, that's a cinematic slam dunk. 38 wins and 15 nominations in total. This movie clearly resonated with everyone.
It really did. And speaking of resonating, the acting. Jack Nicholson, Louise Fletcher, they're both legendary. This movie is what catapulted them to even greater stardom, isn't it? The whole cast was phenomenal, honestly.
Oh my goodness, yes. And the ratings speak for themselves. 8.7 on IMDb, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Even Metacritic gave it an 84/100. It's practically a perfect scorecard across the board. This wasn't just a good movie, it was a cultural phenomenon.
And the plot, a criminal, McMurphy, faking insanity to avoid prison, ends up in a mental institution ruled by the iron fist of Nurse Ratched. Talk about a fascinating premise. It's a powerful story about rebellion and the fight against oppression.
It's so much more than just a rebellion, though. It's a story about finding your voice, even in the most oppressive circumstances. It's about hope and friendship even amidst despair.
Exactly. What are some of your favorite scenes, Alice? Personally, I think the scene where they fish is iconic. Pure freedom and rebellion in one beautiful moment. The electroshock therapy scenes were, well, intense, but unforgettable.
I agree, the fishing scene is breathtaking. But for me, the climax of the film, with the final confrontation between McMurphy and Nurse Ratched, is probably the most powerful. And the ending, oh boy, the ending. It leaves you with such a profound feeling of bittersweet triumph and tragedy. A masterpiece indeed.
It really is a cinematic masterpiece, Alice. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. A must-watch for any film enthusiast. And that's a wrap for this episode of Movies on the Focus.
Until next time, movie lovers.